Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and thank you for the time and I wish you all the healthy and happiness. So today I'm going to talk about my project in the Global Quran at the University of Freiburg. So it's an introduction to the Dutch Quran translation among Indonesian diaspora in the Netherlands. So I would like to start my presentation today with the word of hijrah. Why hijrah? Because there are many ayat in the Quran that explain the common to the hijrah, and most of the interpretation or the translation refer to the migration of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from Mecca to Medina. So this is hijrah fisabilillah, and as attempt to move from the bad to the good thing. And this transfer or displacement can be physical or non-physical. So when I have opportunity to meet the representative of Indonesian Muslim leader in Netherlands from Indonesia, so I asked what kind of the condition or what kind of situation that can describe their condition and what ayah from the Quran if they want to refer according to the command of the hijrah. And the answer is Surah An-Nisa ayah 100. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ لَهُ مُرَغَمًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعًا. So refer to Al-Qurtubi, this verse is an order to emigrate in the path or in the way of Allah in order to get a way of Muraghaman Kathira Wasa'a can be interpreted as a place or fortune or the wealth. So why moving to the Netherlands? So this is such as an ambiguity because for Indonesian people, Netherlands is a land of the colonial, land of Christian missionaries, but in the other hand, Netherlands also become the land of hope and enlightenment. So if you can see the history of the migration in the world from the Muslim country to mostly to the Western country. So many Muslims have arrived in the Northwestern since the end of the Second World War. So this movement can be divided into three waves. First time between 1945. So it was most often the ex-colonial will come to the former colonizing country. So this also happened with Indonesian and also Suriname people come to the Netherlands. And the second wave is the around the 1965. So when unskilled and also illiterate migrant coming to the Western country as a non-permanent worker, but at the end of the job contract, they didn't want to come back to their own country. And the last wave is between 1985 until 2000 and consists out of the refugee from the Muslim country in disorder or in the war. So they were mostly among the better education and also has experience and good skill, but in this wave, most Dutch Muslim did not coming from the original former colonial territory. So Indonesian and Suriname is not become the part of this third wave migration people to the European country. So this still such ambiguity for the Muslim migrant leaving the former country that mostly as a Muslim majority to the secular country and become the part of minority. Perhaps because the secular country will give hope and also the better future in their life. So what happened for Indonesian people when they come to the Netherlands? So we can see from these years that Indonesian come to the Netherlands, they establish some organization related to their identity as a Muslim. So in the pre-colonial era, we can find like Young Islam Tenbuan or Muslim Student Association, and mostly of them are students. not only Indonesian student, but also some of Dutch student who convert into Islam. And then perkumpulan umat Islam is consists of the worker and also seamen and some of the like a low worker in the Netherlands coming from Indonesia. And then after that, the Malukan Muslim, after independence of Indonesia, because we are a part of the military of Dutch government, and they choose to move with the Dutch government into the Dutch, and then because of their status as a military from the Koninklijk from the government of the Dutch, so they get the facility to build such a good and beautiful mosque in the Netherlands. So at least there are two mosques in the Netherlands related to the Malukan Muslim, one in Redekerk and the other one in the Walweg. And after it, PPMA is Perkumpulan Pemuda Islam se-Eropa. This is because of when Dutch opened the opportunity to some students to visit Netherlands during the summertime. So most of the students from the Middle East, like from the Saudi Arabia or Egypt, and also in Baghdad, they come to the Netherlands for a short job or the vacation. But some of the students still stay in Netherlands and either marriage with Dutch woman or with the woman or with the Indonesian woman living in the Netherlands. And because of they have a good background in Islamic studies, mostly of the students become the imam and also the leader in the community, Indonesian community in the Netherlands. So we can see in the, like for example, in the Masjid Al-Hikmah, and also Masjid Al-Ittihad in Den Haag, and also Masjid Al-Ikhlas in Amsterdam, and some of masjid in the Rotterdam. The student become the leader in this community. And then Ikatan Cendekiawan Muslim Indonesia. So we know when Soeharto tried to took Islam more seriously in the public life in his politics, and then he established an association of Muslim intellectual or Ikatan Cendekiawan Muslim Indonesia, and then Sofyan Siregar was nominated as the ICMI representative in the Europe. So who is Sofyan Siregar? Sofyan Siregar, originally coming from the North Sumatra in Indonesia, and he studied in the Madinah University. He took Sharia as he studied Sharia in that university. And in the summertime, he went to the Netherlands for the short job, and then coming back to the Netherlands after years as the representative of Saudi Arabia. And at the first time, when he came to the Netherlands, Sofyan Siregar joined the MIC. MIC is the Muslim Information Center in Den Haag. And MIC was basically an institution for instruction to the small group of Dutch people who want to convert into Islam, and also become a place or center where the journalists and other people could receive information related to the Islam in the Netherlands. But after years, Sofyan Siregar left MIC and start his own center, ICCN. So ICCN is the Islamic Culture Center in the Netherlands. ICCN has a good relation with the Saudi Arabia government and also with the international organization Rabitah Alam Islami in Saudi Arabia. And also ICCN become the agent for the Dutch people who want to visit Saudi Arabia for Hajj and Umrah. And in March 1990, Sofyan Siregar organized a conference in one of the mosques in the Malukan community in Redekerk. This conference is to criticize the a Quran translation by an Orientalist or Arabist, Fred Lemhaus. So because Fred Lemhaus, as a non-Muslim, tried to publish the Quran translation, and the ICCN published a booklet for 40 pages with 42 detailed critiques to the Lemhaus. So therefore, the ICCN translation has at least 336 footnotes, and many of them is giving more precise information about ritual obligation related to the verses. And the Adela Quran was produced to counter opponent non-Muslim Orientalist Ahmadiyya translation of the Quran in Dutch. And also, Adela Quran become an authority of a Sunni representative. So the rest, however, there are not many direct influence from diaspora Muslim Indonesia in the Netherlands toward the daily practice of their fellow believer in the Netherlands, but the Adela Quran became one of the most popular Quran translation in the Dutch-speaking country like in Netherlands and also Belgium, and become significant contribution from Indonesian Muslim diaspora in the Netherlands. And then after the Adela Quran, we can find another Quran translation publication. So it's they are, for example, in 2013, the Quran by Abu Ismail or Jamal al-Hajjaj, and student. And Jamal al-Hajjaj, he is a Salafi Imam in one of Moroccan mosques in the Den Haag. And still in the same year, the Islamic University of Rotterdam, with the close relation to some the community, which has the relation to the some Turkish community in the Netherlands, they also publish their own publication of Quran translation in Dutch. So I think that's all of my presentation. Thank you very much.